with that, let's get the party started. All right, so welcome everyone. If you've just joined, my name is Valerie Gamer. I'm an NMD. I've been doing this now for 6 years, and tonight I'm going to present to you all about follow-up. Quite a few of us at this, about halfway through this year, we went to Eric Warray's GoPro. Who here has heard of GoPro? Eric Warray? Haven't? It's the bald badger guy. Got to be honest, he is. Okay, that's Eric Warray there. Fantastic guy. Yep, you can get books, you can get audios, you can get so many things. Guys, this is the guru. So we were fortunate to be at GoPro and learn so many different things, learning about follow-up, connecting, all of those different things. So tonight I'm talking about follow-up. Now guys, be honest with yourself, because if you can't be honest with yourself in this business, you're not going to get past forward step one. Go crazy in the chat right now, and if you don't want to put it out there, but who here loves follow-up? Who here does follow-up? Who here doesn't do follow-up at all? Right? Doesn't, you know, this is all, it doesn't matter. There's not like, oh, she's bad, she's good. It doesn't matter. Okay, I've got to be really honest. When I first started this business, I was donuts at follow-up. And, you know, I never forget that, you know, my uplines, Abby and Carla, was said, you know, if you're not following up, Val, you ain't got a business. Like, get your butt to work. And I learned how to follow up. So we always hear that. The fortune is in the follow-up. How many times do you hear your sponsors say that, or your upline NMD? Yeah, it's true, guys. It is a very important concept. We plant seeds all day long. We do it through online. We expose here and there. But if you were putting all of these seeds out there, like a farmer, but if you're never kind of coming in and grabbing your crop, you're not going to have the goodness. Think of it that way. You can plant all your life, but if you're not pulling and if you're not following up, you're going to miss that opportunity. So one of the concepts that we learned at GoPro is concept number 1, follow up professionally. And I know it might sound really simple, but it's so true. How many times has someone told you that they're going to ring you on a time, on a certain date, and they didn't? You immediately think, God, what a schmuck. How did he just forget me? Aren't I good enough? Well, you don't know what that potential could be thinking about you. So number 1, guys, follow up professionally. If you said you're going to email the next day, if you said you're going to send a voice message, a text message, a phone call at a certain time, do it. Please don't ignore it. Secondly, you can do this physically, or you can create an online calendar to be organized. There is no way now that you can't be organized. Even if you're like me, pen and paper, go grab a diary. People will respect you so much more when you are professional, not being lazy about this. Concept number 2, have an exposure to have the next exposure. I'll repeat this. Have an exposure to have the next exposure. I see time and time again that, you know, when we do follow up and someone says, no, I'm not ready for the product now, they just cut them off. Okay, it's like, oh, okay, goodbye, see you later. No, it's never goodbye, see you later. It's never that, ever in this industry. What it is about saying, okay, so you're not ready right now, and continue having that friendship with them, but keep them on that list that Tamara talks about, or on your grid. So you never know when a family member gets sick, you can follow up with them and invite them to a VIP customer event. Maybe they're interested in smoothies, or maybe they're interested in something else. You've got them there always. You never just say goodbye and that's that. Very, very important. Don't cut anyone off in network marketing. So you have the exposure. Okay, and when you finish each exposure, so say now I'm sitting down with Tamara and I'm finishing my exposure, I'm now setting up the next one. All right, so look, I know you're really busy at the moment, it's school holidays. Hey, look, I don't know if this would be something you'd want to do, but do you want to catch up for coffee in another 6 weeks? Do you get what I mean? Like, it's not catching up for coffee tomorrow, but I want to catch up. I just want to be on their forefront. So when I see them again in 6 weeks, and Carla Thomas, she's very good at doing this. It's constantly drip feeding the whole time. Because guess what, guys? This might really help you guys. This helped me at GoPro. We only ever do 2 things in network marketing. We educate and inspire. Expect nothing, appreciate everything, educate and inspire. That's really important. When I got that, that changed the game for me. So at every exposure, you're educating them on maybe the product. Maybe it's the Omegas, maybe it's the Complete, maybe it's something you learn on an online webinar, maybe it was this, maybe it was that. And guess what? They're going to see that you're passionate, and guess what? You'll do the next thing, you'll inspire them. You'll inspire them to make a change. So you always keep exposing, really important. So setting up. The best follow-up question, and I teach my team all the time, what did you like best about that? Or what resonated with your heart? What kind of really got you there, babe? What really did you love best about it? End every question in this industry with a question. Every conversation you have, end with a question. Super important. Because if they then say, but then basically you're fishing, okay? Sorry, I do these analogies. So when you say, what did you love best about it? You're now fishing, and now they're saying, well, actually, Val, I really love the concept around Healthy Starts program. Straight away, they have bitten the bait, and now it's about, they love that about the Healthy Starts program. If you don't ask that, you're going to go in and make it all about you and say what you loved. Been there, done that, got the badge for it 6 years ago. And then I realized I wasn't listening. So then if they say, you know what, it's the Healthy Starts, or well, you know what, gosh, I really love the Omegas, Val. They're plant-based. I never thought of that. Well, guess what? You're going to tunnel for the next 5 minutes, like tennis, right? Everything's about racket. Question back. You're going to talk about the Omegas. If they then say to you, gosh, Val, I really love the compensation plan, you're going to start to talk to them about the business opportunity. So a very powerful question there. What did you love best about it? The next question, which some of you guys might have not have heard, or you might not even do this. All right, Tamara, so on a scale from 1 to 10, and 10 being really damn interested, like sign me up right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, Tamara, if you were, so on a scale from 1 to 10, and you're interested, are you ready to kind of get started right now? Where do you sit 1 to 10? Let them tell you, anything over 1's great. Like if it's -5, like still you've got some work to move, but anything above 1 is great. So if they're saying, you know what, Tamara, I'm sitting about a 5 at the moment. Well, you know where you're sitting, right? You can go with the racket. You know where to hit the ball. Like seriously, guys. So if it's about a 5 or 6 and they're talking about the business or they're talking around the product, guess what? You want to then go in for the next question. All right, so you set about a 5 for the product there, Tam or Tamara, babe. By this time, you've had a cup of tea with them. What do you need to get yourself up to that 10? Are you really connected to research and science? Or are you connected about seeing some testimonials? What can I help you with, honey, to really get you to that 10? Because I know you want to get there. How can I help you? Who here's used this before? Really powerful, guys. And can you see? Educate and inspire, educate and inspire. I'm just educating up to 10 now. I know they're sitting at 5. I need to educate that next 5 to get them up to a chicken dinner, okay? So in that moment, maybe you can't talk about it, maybe you can. And if they're like I'm really busy right now, I've got to get home. This event was amazing, but you know what? I'll talk about it with you tomorrow. Straight away, fantastic. What time suits you, AM or PM? Oh, don't just say, yeah, okay, chat to you tomorrow, bye-bye. No. AM or PM? Was that tomorrow night when the kids are in bed? Grab a cup and we'll have a little chat. Okay, really important. Remember, schedule the next exposure. Okay, it's all we do in this business. Okay, so if they say, you know what, Tam, I've looked at the research, I've looked at your website, I'm ready to get started, you say, fantastic, let's get you started. Oh, let's process your order right now. Once the order's processed, guys, you start then that beautiful customer care system. And guess what? The next exposure is, I'm going to touch base with you within 7 to 10 working days. Pop me a little text once you've received it, because I know Australia Post can be a little bit sometimes. And guess what? I just want to go through with a few things with you. Would that be okay? So once again, you're exposing now on beautiful customer care. Are we all cool bananas with that? Yeah, easy. All right. So if they say to you, you know what, I'd love to know a little bit more about the business, I'm sitting on that 5 or that 6, straight away then it's about, well, what do you need to get to that 10? Was it the compensation plan? Did you want to see, you know, how it works? Or was it, you know, did you need to ask your spouse? What was it that you find that, what do you need to get you up to that 10? So once again, putting things out there and then following up. All right, so you want to speak to hubby tomorrow night when he gets home from work. Look, you guys have a cup of tea about it tomorrow night, and how about on Wednesday night, I can give you a call, or the 3 of us could get on a Zoom, and this is my classic one line. I know you're probably going to have some questions like I did. Feel, felt, found. Always get on their side. Don't make anyone ever feel terrible or really bad for asking questions. Look, I know you probably got some questions with hubby, because, you know, I did, and gosh, Mike had 1,001 questions. How about the 3 of us, or, you know, the 4 of us get on a call on Wednesday night and we can just put it all out there? Would that be okay? Okay, really super simple. Are we all cool with that, bananas, guys? Awesome. So once again, you can kind of really see here, you never just put the full stop when someone says something and say that's enough. Expose, expose, expose. You know, they say here that it takes 4 to 8 exposures to understand. I nearly think it's 10 to 15, to be honest. I think there is so much noise on Facebook with different things. You've got to literally just putting yourself out there, sharing the benefits and doing those things. Our job in this amazing professional network marketing is to educate and inspire. So the next thing you want to be doing, guys, is building a strong relationship. It builds trust. You know what, whenever you've bought something, I bet you've trusted that person, whatever it might have been. So really important that, you know what, feel confident, feel strong. Keep your urgency, because you're like, oh my God, my 40-day promotion is on Friday and I just need this now. We've all been there, done that, right? But keep your urgency, keep it really patient. You've got to be patient in this time. They're going to smell you out if you're kind of like barging on in. Treat this profession professionally, okay? Questions and objections is completely natural. Don't ever freak out. It's completely normal. And if you respond, a really good response to this is like, I totally understand you've got some questions right now. Put it on the table. Love to help you. Where can I help you? It's not to ever win an argument, guys, okay? Really important. So if an objection comes up in your follow-up, it's just to identify their blind spots. I'll repeat that. If an objection comes up in following up, it's just to identify their blind spots. Nothing to go crazy and think, I don't know what I'm doing, and quick, let me ring up my sponsor. No. Patiently, expect nothing. Think in your mind they're probably going to say no anyway, and be calm. Really important. So all we want to do in that process is be helpful and get these things eliminated. Educate and inspire, okay? So, really cool. Now, there's going to be 2 types of prejudging, and I do need to talk about this part in the follow-up. When you're following up, make sure you are not doing 2 types of this prejudging. 1, you've prejudged, you've made a decision for them. Don't do that. It's all about them. And secondly, they say no, which doesn't mean no forever. Okay? You know, if you're someone that you think, oh, gosh, the 120 complete and the Omegas and the premium, how much do they pay a month? And I never did that when I first started. You were prejudging someone's health. Don't ever do that. It's not for you to decide. You don't know where they are, where they've been, and what they need for their future. So don't ever prejudge in a follow-up. Super important. Okay, objections in the follow-up. It's just to understand that they're feeling a little bit fearful. It's nervous. Maybe they've never heard of this. Maybe they've had a bad experience and someone spammed them really badly. So they want to know that you're not going to do the same. Okay? The two biggest objections I have found, and what Eric Worre says, is number one is the limiting beliefs in themselves regarding the business. Am I too old? Am I too young? I've never done this before. I'm not a business owner. Okay, so in that moment, feel, felt, found. You know what? I totally understand what you're saying. I've never done anything like this before. But you know what? When I had a look at the people that were just like me that were doing it, it totally made sense. I've looked into how amazing franchises are, and this I just loved. I love that we get to help people with their health. Okay, so feel, felt, and found is amazing for that. The second biggest one also, and it was my one 6 years ago, was the industry. I was a closet network marketer. Okay, so all we need to do in that moment is usually someone's been spammed. And if I can just quickly share a golden nugget here that really helped me, we are an industry like anyone else. Hairdressing, doctors, tradies, you name it. You know, when Sonny had limestone, he's a very good tradie, but because there's been some tradie that's probably had their plumbers crack out, sorry to say it, but have been late and all of those different things, it's put it off for every tradesman. But does that mean that my husband was a bad tradie? No, it was one guy that had his pants down too low. That was all it was. So guys, that's why we always say that this industry, do it being real, authentic, do it in flow and alignment, and you will never be that person that is the spam attack person. So when it comes to the industry one and someone says, oh, is it one of those things? Is it MLM? You know, and I'm just going to talk about the elephant in the corner here, guys, because you know what? We're all honest. You're going to get them. The first thing I would say is, geez, babe, it sounds like you've had a bad experience. I'd love to hear about it. Number one question all the time. Don't have a panic and sweat coming down and go getting on Wikipedia. Don't do that. Be patient, be calm and say, put it back on their court. Babe, gosh, it sounds like you've had the worst experience. I'm so sorry to hear that. Let's have a chat about it. Okay, it's Educate Inspire. Once again, guys, you know what? That really helped me when I got this. We only ever educate and inspire. So now we're re-educating someone that's had the worst experience from someone that has spammed them. Okay, so super important. Are we cool with that? Does that make sense? Yeah. Forget about the plumber's crack, okay? Yeah, next one. So, you know, I find that if they don't tell you what they're wanting, really, I feel it can be trickier to have that opportunity to really help them. If we've all had people that ignore us, let's face it, you know, what's resonated with you and they don't get back. We've all had it, okay? Don't get upset about it. It happens. So they're not ready to be educated next. Don't get caught up on it. Go for no's. If they don't get back to you, if they don't want to answer your questions, they're not ready to be educated or be inspired. It's as simple as that. Okay, and a few other little things here just to wrap this up with a beautiful red big bow here is that when we're talking to people, listen. When you are talking to people and you're doing your follow-up, number one, listen. Learn to zip this little baby up, okay? And when someone's talking to you and they're like, you know what, I don't have the time, or I'd love some time, you know, I really love my job at the moment, Tamara, but you know what, I would love a long weekend every weekend. I'd love to have Friday off. You know what, go into that question. What does time mean for you? What does it really mean to have Friday off? Well, you know what, I would love to, you know, go to school assemblies. I would love to go do pottery. Okay, so start listening to what they're saying so you know best how to follow up. Really important. And when they say, well, you know what, it's to create some extra income online, don't just say, oh, great, okay, fab. No, it's not just fab. It's like, okay, so what does that mean for you? Is this something you're wanting to start a charity? Is this something you'd love to bring hubby home from FIFO? Is this something that, you know what, you're going away to the Maldives in Christmas, or you got a wedding? Like, what does this extra income, what's it going to do for you? Really important. Get into conversation with someone rather than the presentation. And I'm going to be honest, guys, when we're working online, and I did struggle with this years ago, I'm such a face-to-face person. When I'm at home here on my computer or my phone, I'm like talking to this person online and smiling away and drinking my cup of tea, just like I would be with them in a cafe. So get excited about it. Number two, when you're following up with them, relate with them. Get on their side. I've talked about this a bit tonight. Feel, felt, found. Really important, guys. And this is where you're bringing your beautiful story, relate your story or another story. I feel exactly what you're saying, Tamara. But what I found was that there were so many other stay-at-home mamas when I joined this community that, you know what, I saw story after story and testimonial and seeing these gorgeous mums, you know, creating an extra $1,000 a month and contributing to their household bills. So I totally understand that you've never done this before, but look, honestly, honey, I think this would be amazing for you. I totally get it. I totally get it that, you know, you've never done this before, or I totally get it that, you know, your friends might not agree with you right now. I totally get that. My dad still doesn't take the product. So just a few little key things here, okay? Feel, felt, and found. Stories is everything. And it is. It's now when I say you really are sharing your story or someone else's. You know what, guys? Your story is so powerful. No one can ever say you're wrong. So know your story, know your X factor in your story, why you do this, and it will just connect on that emotional level. Super important. Okay, and the next thing is if I could show you how to carve those extra, you know, 10 hours out a week, because you've kind of been going through what they've been saying now. If I could show you how to carve out those 10 hours a week, 5 hours a week, to really invest in you and your future, or to help you and your hubby really kind of get off the FIFO lifestyle, or help you, you know, get started with that pottery class on a Friday, or really help you take that Friday off. Is this something that you would love to know more about and we could do together? So once again, you know, once you start to know what they want, how many hours a week, why they want it, okay? Why is time so important? What money are they looking to increase right now? You basically just go back and repeat what they say and literally say, look, do you have any more questions, or are you ready to get started on this journey together? And guys, you know what? That's what I've got from my notes, and I listened to GoPro again today. But the biggest key points that I can really give you guys right here, right now, is the fortune is in the follow-up. It really, really is. And I think I see so many times that, you know, I love that our mission is getting out there so much these days around the globe. But I'm going to give you two situations here. You got blue and black here. You've planted the seeds to both of them, but you never followed up with black over here. Okay, and then someone's coming in here, taken them to some events or done some other things. And if you haven't followed up, you're going to miss out over here. So it's super, super important to always, always follow up and be professional about this. And I just think, how many times have you seen that your best friend's gone into another team and you think, oh, I wish it was me. But you have to put your hand on your heart in that moment and think, did I follow up? Did I give them enough exposure? Did I take them to events, send them links? Have I even been posting on my own timeline? I see that one a lot. And what I mean is people don't want to post on Facebook or Instagram, but they want this business and they want people knocking on the door, but they're not prepared to expose whatever it is. You might expose the capsules, you might expose the results, you might expose the Healthy Starts program, you might expose the community, being around like-minded women, you might expose that you're an ambassador for this amazing program that you're affiliated with. It doesn't matter, but you've got to keep exposing all the time. You can't expect to plant one seed or go fishing once and expect to have, you know, a bucket full of fish. It just doesn't happen. So Tam, that's kind of it for me. You know, I'm a natter now, mouth, and I could keep talking, but what I will say is, guys, tomorrow night is going to be an exposure of a lifetime. Don't be this person tomorrow